go their children to abroad and study and all this. So basically, are they not able to understand what kind of capacity we as an Indian education system have, or what is it?
So I think partially your question is right. So I think there needs to be a greater awareness of what kind of educational systems exist in India. And some of the most outstanding institutes are in India. So I think even schools need to sort of display these characteristics of Indian education system. Otherwise, many of the times, especially in elite schools, they feel that when you go overseas, you get a better education and you come back more prepared. We spoke about these topics at our conference, and many of these questions were posed by the panelists, and we emphasized on the fact that there are some outstanding institutions in India that they should explore as well. So there was a lot of focus on the Indian education system, and the purpose of many of these children going overseas is also to understand the global scenario, because man just spoke about a global brain drain, but there is a reverse immigration happening now, where many of the Indians who are overseas are coming back to India. So, in a way, we would see that even these children going there would come back with some even greater skills than they could achieve, and they would serve the motherland. So, we've emphasized on that fact that opportunities not only exist across the world, but in India, because we know now that we are heading towards a 5 trillion economy, and we've become the fifth largest economy in the world. So the opportunities in India are tremendous, not just in terms of employment opportunities, entrepreneurship, setting up institutions. So I feel the children understand this. So, but there's a lot of information that needs to go to various parts of the country, that there are opportunities in our existing systems as well. I only feel that we lack a little bit in research. So in higher education, we still have a long way to catch up. So we've caught up a lot in the past 20 years, but I feel given another 15, 20 years, our institutions will probably be at par with some of the best in the world or even better. So that's to answer the question really.
I think that is the strongest example during the pandemic that we proved as a system of education that we can handle the challenge.
Absolutely.
So, do you have any analytics about the foreign education system, how they deal in that?
So I think many of the countries closed down their schools at a very late stage, especially in Europe. You saw the schools did not shut down because they were concerned about the psychological effects it could have on the children. And but it was a very difficult decision for anyone to take, because there was no right or wrong decision. The right decision was to protect lives, and nothing else mattered. So I think to handle a billion people is a magnanimous task. I don't think we can compare ourselves to any nation, and we did a very stellar job in controlling the pandemic. And it's also, I think, the solid grounding that the Indian cultural system has, that we were able to sort of face this crisis. And even the children have taken it as a challenge. But the students aside, I think the teaching profession really innovated during this time, because they were not used to teaching online. They were not understanding the systems that would be needed to really provide knowledge to the pupils. But they really took up this challenge. I can speak about my school, and they worked literally day and night to make sure that the children were comfortable and happy. So I think we have to give a real salute to the heroes who worked in the background, really, because we are talking of doctors, we are talking of other ecosystems that manage the pandemic. But the teachers worked relentlessly because they had so much pressure. So the education system went through a real turmoil. But I think that's in the past. Let's focus on the 5 trillion economy and move forward, really.
Thank you so much.
Also, how do you see the Indian education getting evolved over the past years? What is your perspective, and what do you notice about parents' attitude, children's attitude towards the system?
So Indian education is definitely evolving. I feel the government is putting in a lot of mechanisms, especially with the new bill that has come. There's a lot of autonomy offered now to educational institutions. And the perception of the parents is also changing. But more than the parents, I feel it's the children of today who are more aware. So earlier, in my case as well, I was told what to do. Like my father and mother wanted a rule for me. But today, I don't think it's that way. It's the kids themselves decide that this is what I want to be, this is who I want to be. And I think that change is very dynamic. It's shifting. So India again I can say it's divided into two areas. एक हमारा भारत है और एक इंडिया है. So that divide is great because सारे systems एक साथ यहाँ काम करते हैं. ICSE है, CBSE है, SSE है. So we need to sort of amalgamate all these systems and have one sort of consistent approach towards growth. So we cannot have this division of sort of understanding. So it's a long process. It's not easy because there's